everybody. On behalf of honeymoons.com, I would like to thank everybody for coming today. And I'm going to shortly introduce my panel, but I would like to start by thanking them for participating in our session this afternoon. The session's entitled The Secrets to Capturing the Multi-Billion-Dollar Romance Market. Before I get started, I would just like to thank the World Travel Mart. I know that everyone has seen the Just a Drop Save Water signs everywhere, but I want to just take one moment to say that every morning when you get up and you brush your teeth, take a shower, flush the toilet, we take for granted that we have the water to do so. It's almost not even a thought. We turn on the faucet and the water comes out. Throughout so much of the country and the world, they don't have this. They don't have this simplicity of turning on a faucet and water just pouring out. So if you have a moment to read more about Just a Drop or to make a donation, I think that you'll find that your donation goes to save a lot of lives. So before I get started, I'd like to introduce the panel. I'd like to start with John Lynch. There are many strategies for destinations to market themselves to the romance consumer. Jamaica has always been and continues to be the world's leading destination for destination weddings and honeymoons. We are privileged today to have John Lynch, the Executive Director of the Jamaica Tourist Board, on our panel. Thank you, John. We are also so thankful to have Jeff Henlon, the publisher of Bridal Guide magazine and bridalguide.com. He is responsible for overseeing the advertising and marketing partnerships, sales, strategies, and business development for all of Bridal Guide's assets. Thank you so much, Jeff. With us from California via Skype is Marian Gerlich. So Marian will be coming on. She could hear the presentation and we'll be able to see her at the end. Marian has spent her entire career in PR. She has specialized in upscale travel and hospitality PR for the last 20 years. In 2009, she was presented with the Society of American Travelers Writers' highest PR honor, the Gold Award for Best Publicity Campaign, and an award she won for the romance initiative entitled Las Ventanas is for Lovers, where she's going to share aspects of that campaign with us later today. Henry Woodman from Ice Porthole. Henry has over 30 years of experience in producing hundreds of travel videos and exotic romantic destinations around the world. So today, thank you. I'm a bit nervous if you can't tell. I kept asking anybody if they had a flask so I could just take one little drink of something to take the edge off. Nobody did. Today, as many of you know, that we're going to cover the romance market. I'm going to be throwing a ton of information at you. And before I do, I just want to share a funny story, a true story regarding the travel industry. A friend of mine is a travel agent, and she received a call not too long ago from a traveler asking her to book her a trip to Hippopotamus. So she hangs up, not wanting to admit to the traveler she had no idea where Hippopotamus was. So she starts asking colleagues, making calls, searching all the information on flights, trying to find Hippopotamus. She calls the traveler back, and to her dismay has to admit she doesn't know where this destination is. And she says, "Are you sure? It's Hippopotamus." And she goes, "Yeah, well, I know it's in New York, and I know it's very cold." So my friend puts her on hold, comes back 5 minutes later and says, "Are you sure you don't mean Buffalo, New York?" She goes, "Oh yeah, I knew it was some big animal." So the point is that although most travelers do have an idea where they want to go, a lot of them can be molded. They could be told, basically given a description of these great places that we can offer them, just by basically offering them proper websites, proper social marketing. And we're going to cover that today. So I'd like to start by have everybody imagine Wembley Stadium. Wembley Stadium seats 90,000 people. So if you were this year to take all the people engaged in the United States and invite them to Wembley Stadium, I'd have to fill that stadium almost 50 times in order to seat every single person getting married in the United States. So of all these people, of the 4.4 million engaged people in the United States, they all have two things in common. Within the next 14 months, they're going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars of money on a honeymoon. And two, each one of them is going to tell at least 5 people where they're going on that honeymoon. Now imagine I'm going to give you a microphone, and you're going to stand in front of the 4.4 million people. And I'm only going to give you 35 seconds, because that's the average time any of them are going to spend on your website before they leave to find some other place to go. So you have 35 seconds to get their attention and to tell them why they want to come to your property or destination above anybody else. So things we're going to cover today, we're going to gain an understanding of all the aspects and components of the romance market. We're going to review the marketplace, including social marketing, print media, Twitter, Facebook, etc. We're going to discuss effective marketing techniques and tools to increase revenue and room nights. We're going to establish the steps necessary to capture the romance market. What I mean by this, we're going to give them what they want. How are you going to know what they want? We've taken survey after survey and survey and put them into this presentation to show you what they want. Romance marketing. I'm going to teach everybody, or this panel actually is going to educate everybody today, how to gain the most exposure possible. And as a wedding planner for over 15 years, I'm going to tell everybody the how-tos and must-dos to increase destination wedding traffic. I'm actually going to teach you bridal slang, what brides speak. So the romance market in general spends a conservative $30 billion annually in romance-related expenditures. They fill over 16 million room nights annually. They make up 20% of the U.S. population traveling every year, making that roughly 42 million Americans. This market, they're all looking for one thing, R, and R. They're looking for romance, relaxation, and reconnection with each other. I'm going to now describe to you the market. We've got the engaged couple, the destination wedding couple, the romance traveler, and the gay and lesbian couple. The engaged couple, let's talk about who they are. They stay an average of 8 days. They spend a great deal of time looking for their honeymoon. They search at least 3 or more areas on the internet to find where they're going. They spend an average of $4,400 on their honeymoon. She's 29, he's 36, and they're 62% of the 3,500 couples we asked are paying for 90% of their honeymoon themselves. 15% of this market are luxury honeymoons, which means anything from $7,000 and above. Type of accommodations these couples are looking for, all-inclusive is the highest at 39%. Cruises are very popular with 16%, and deluxe hotel is 28%. The average honeymoon spending is 3 times the average vacation. This specific market, especially the engaged couple, they are social bonkers. They're creating websites. They're on Facebook. They're tweeting. They're talking about their wedding 24/7. They're talking about where they're going. They're almost the narcissist of the romance market. 70% of themselves consider themselves a much smarter shopper thanks to the current state of the U.S. economy. The average destination wedding couple. Average wedding for destination is $20,000. The average guest attending these weddings are 46. They stay anywhere between 2 and 4 nights. And when I say they, I mean the guest attending this wedding. They, as the couple, host over 60% of the events. So they're hosting rehearsal dinners, clam bakes, wine tastings. They're giving the guests that arrive for their wedding an entire package. Over 50% of these couples are going to travel to their wedding destination prior to their wedding. What does this mean? It means that any place that's in the market to host destination weddings could increase room nights just by asking these couples to take a trip down to take a look at their property. This year alone, I want to use myself as an example. I recently got married. My husband and I had a Mexican wedding. We had 260 guests. Of that, they stayed 5 nights, and we hosted 6 parties. Obviously, not the average destination wedding, but we just were invited to one in Hawaii with 100 guests, all spending a week. So that's 50 rooms, 7 days, average room night, $250. You do the math on how much income that is for one property. And then we just also got invited to a wedding on the West Coast. It's more of your average. It's only, I think, 60 guests. Basically 30 rooms, but it's going to be a great event, and they're hosting one simple wedding reception that's $30,000. So you can gather an idea that Each destination is going to make a significant amount of income based on destination weddings. 72% care about the wedding reception venue and facilities. 64% care most about the wedding variety of packages offered. The average romantic traveler, that's the next demographic in this market, they're in a committed relationship. They're married, they're either in a serious relationship, they travel year-round with their partner at least one time to 5 to get away for romance, relaxation, and reconnection. They're searching for packages. And by packages, I don't necessarily mean discounts. I mean they want you to create a package for them. They want you to do the work for them in their relationship building. They want you to offer roses in the room, turn-down services that include candles and rose petals. We'll get a little bit more into that later. But this is also a very easily charmed market. They're looking to get away, and this is their first time they've been away without their children in some time. They're only worried about each other, so that little bit of effort you put towards to please them, they're going to remember it. This is a rather social market as well. Picture all the housewives that are able to sit down at the next book club meeting and share with people where they're going to reconnect with their husband. They're posting it on Facebook, and their kids are then going to school and telling everyone there where their parents are going on vacation. 64% of these travelers will pay full price if they're guaranteed quality. They share with their friends details about this trip, and 44% participated in an outdoor activity once they got there. So if you were to put together any kind of promotion like horseback riding, sleigh rides, depending on the destination, this couple is your market. They're going to be the ones booking it. The average same-sex couple. This market is extremely, extremely lucrative. Out of 6,000 surveys, we found out that 80% of these couples purchased their trip online. Over 50% of them only looked at 3 places, and they booked directly with the hotel. What does that mean? You're not paying a commission. They're booking right with you. The other 30+% booked with either TripAdvisor, Orbitz, or one of the online companies. Of this, the 66% will be posting photos and hotel details on Facebook during and after their trip. Of the 80% that are traveling, that which works out to be 5,680 people in this of the 6,000 asked, 10% will tweet at one point on their trip, 39% will use their smartphone to find out what to do, where to go for dinner, what your hotel has to offer, which sends a message that anyone who's looking in this market to create apps, this is the market that's going to be using the apps most. The most important thing we learned from this market is of that over 5,000 that are traveling each year, 64% of them said that that trip is more important than fixing their home, buying a new car, spending it on furniture. The trip comes first over anything they're going to do that year. Over 75% of that 5,000 are going to spend money in a moderate or luxury range hotel. Like I said earlier, 5,300 are going to vacation annually for R&R. 3,600 will come back to the same location if they loved it. 4,200 stay between 5 and 25 nights, and of that 4,200, all of them included a flight. What they all have in common, they're very social. They're media bonkers. They're talking about it on Facebook. They're talking about it on Twitter. They can't tell enough people about where they're going on this trip. They're inquisitive. They're asking questions. They're comparing. And they're extremely savvy. They know where to go on the internet to find the best deals. They're going online to read your reviews. They're searching and searching and searching about where they're going on their next trip. While they're searching, they're looking for packages and organized activities. Of the thousands and thousands of surveys that we've done to prepare for this, all of them, in every market, whether it was same-sex, engaged couple, destination wedding, or the romantic traveler, all wanted packages and organized activities. They're extremely smart shoppers, and to all of them, perception is reality. So whether they spend $1 with you or $10,000 with you, if they perceive their trip was great and had a good time, it does not matter to them what the cost was. However, if they spend that money and it's a total train wreck, they're going to want every dime back, and they're never coming back. Travel for themselves, like I said, is to reconnect, re-energize, and find romance. We're going to move on to the destination wedding. As a wedding planner for 15 years, this is my market. I'm going to share with you some interesting destination wedding factoids. Since 2001, 20% of all U.S. destination weddings, since 2001, 20% of all U.S. weddings are destination weddings. That's up 300% since 2001. We asked 3,500 brides to tell us what's most important to them. Number one was beautiful romantic scenery. Number two was affordability, and number three was the variety of packages offered. So for this couple to book your hotel, these are the things they were looking for on your website. 78% booked solely on your website. So if they looked anywhere else or they considered anywhere else, the best website won. Over 30% of the destination weddings have over 70 guests. When you think about that, 70 guests, 35 rooms. 60% are interested in an on-site wedding planner. If you don't have one, they're not booking your hotel. And over 63% of these couples look for upgrades for the bride and groom. What does that mean? They want incentives. They want either their room free, they want their honeymoon free, they want a free cake, they want something free. What is most important to these wedding couples? I can't emphasize photos enough. The photos are what are going to sell your property. They want photos on amenities. They want photos on rooms. They want previous wedding setups. They want you to do the work for them. They want you to show them why they're going to book your property. They want videos. They want to be able to look at past wedding videos. They want to see videos of the property. Later on, Henry's going to give us some great examples on how to do just that. Like I said earlier, they want packages. And again, packages does not necessarily mean discount. They just want things grouped together so guests can book and receive breakfast, they receive a basket in their room, they receive any simple amenity that's included that to them feels free, even though it was booked in their price. So they want access. They want access to frequently asked questions. They want access to your wedding planner. They want every single thing at their fingertips. If they go to your website and can't find it, or a phone number they can't call 24/7, they're on to the next website. They want answers. They want a wide variety of what works, what menus work, what's popular, what's not popular. You need to know more about their wedding than they know about their wedding. They want service. And by service, I mean they want you to feel that they're the only wedding at the property that entire time. They want service to their guests, and they want service to themselves. And last but not least, they want the wow. And for the average destination wedding couple, it's not themselves they want wowed, it's their guest. So their goal is for their guests to leave and tell every single person they meet they just left the best wedding ever. People don't realize that this market is an extremely repeat business. 87% of the couples that plan their honeymoon, plan their destination wedding, will stay at that location for their honeymoon. Over 50% plan to revisit that location within the first 1 to 2 years of marriage. It's not just traditional weddings that these properties need to market towards. We asked 3,500 couples, and 28% of them are planning to book a vow renewal vacation with close friends and family on their 10-year wedding anniversary. 46% of them are strongly considering this. What does that mean? Of that 46%, if you market to them, you could definitely convince them to come back in 10 years with, say, 15 to 40 of their closest friends and celebrate a wedding. It's team effort. Every hotel that I've worked with constantly asks me, well, how do I do this? How do I get them to notice me? You need to partner with your florist, partner with your destinations. You need to ask them, I need room setups, I need pictures, I need rental companies to come in, set up a room, and let's photograph it. Let's show these couples what we can offer them. Partner with wedding planners. People go to their wedding planner. I trust my wedding planner like I trust a doctor, especially when I'm planning a big event. They know more about it than I do. I'm doing one, not myself, but they know one wedding versus I know one wedding versus them know hundreds. Partner with various vendors and ask clients. Ask clients to give you old photos, stuff you've done, past videos. Ask. If my wedding venue asked us to share our wedding video, I would have given it in a second. But if you don't ask, you're not going to offer. Euphoria was kind enough to give me some examples of some photos that other hotels in Mexico are using, and they are pretty incredible. If your website does not offer photos like this, you're missing the market. This photo right here was the entire reason why I booked Mexico for my destination wedding. I didn't have anything that looked like that, but the fact I knew they could do that made me realize that Mexico was the destination for me. I don't know about you, but this makes me feel like I want to go here, sit down, and have a drink. Giving couples ideas of where they can host their ceremony are so important. And this, which isn't even a beach setting and is absolutely beautiful, shows couples that if you don't want to do it on the beach, show them another area in the hotel where it makes for a perfect setting for a reception or a ceremony. Honeymoons.com asked and couples answered. I'm going to share with you what we discovered. Like I said earlier, packages, wedding videos, upgrades, they want to return to your destination. They want to be wowed, and wowing is simpler than you think. I'm going to show you examples now. 50% of all-inclusive weddings and packages are the most important thing to them. 43% want free weddings. So if you put in a package or an incentive that you're going to offer a free wedding for anybody who books 50 rooms, they're going to choose your hotel. If you don't believe us, hear it from them. Actual quotes from surveys. People want to know, what is the actual cost of our trip? They wish they could have viewed the actual room they were booking, they would have upgraded. What does that tell you? That if you show the rooms you have, couples are liable to spend more money just because they want a better room, versus once they get there and that room not be available. I wish the hotel had something with spa treatments or anything anniversary oriented that included something special because we would have booked it. More photos of the hotel, grounds, amenities, and rooms, please. Full disclosure, if the pool is under construction, then at least say it. And I will tell you this, if you don't say it, I could promise you that traveler is going to say it the second they get to the hotel, on their Facebook, their Twitter, their YouTube. That is going to be all over the media if you don't tell it in advance. Give me something to talk about when I get home. What this means is this traveler is asking, I want to have something wowed. I want to have something great to share with my friends when I get back. Why did you ask if we were celebrating an occasion and then do nothing? This happens to be my biggest pet peeve. If you ever checked into a hotel and they ask you, are you celebrating something special? And you tell them, and then you wait because you think, wow, something must be coming. And you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and nothing happens. And to some people, they could be celebrating a promotion, first time away, an anniversary. Who knows? Maybe that they're married longer than the Kardashians. But to everybody, they have a reason why they're on the trip. If you ask them, have something to back it up. Again, if there was a place that could have chose more packages, they would have stayed longer to fit them all in. This was actually one that we saw several times. Their biggest gripe was that the hotel was billed as a romantic place. And then when they checked in, there was nothing romantic about it. They didn't offer any romantic packages. There was nothing that would offer anything that geared towards romance. Upgrades. Also, moving on, we're going to talk about what they asked for. They wanted incentives to stay longer. So we asked them if they were offered a complimentary upgrade to a suite when they booked 7 consecutive nights. 70% of them said they would have stayed longer. An additional free night when 3 consecutive nights were booked. 81% said they would have definitely booked that 4th night. Complimentary romance package included when you book 5 or more nights. 45% said this was important to them. Interesting enough that when hotels were going to offer champagne and flowers upon arrival when you book 5 or more nights, only 24% found that that was incentive enough to stay longer. Breakfast included with 4 consecutive nights, almost 50% found that this was reason enough to book the extra stay. Round-trip transportation to the airport, 57%. Okay, so now we want to talk about turning marketing revenues into dollars. So the romance and wedding services are great for PR, and Marian has been kind enough to share with us what has been so successful for her hotels in the past. She's going to show us some ways to turn the real value, and that's generating income from the bottom line. Food and beverage revenue. She gave us an example of private dinners. If you charged a $100 setup fee for a romantic private dinner, whether on the beach, on a special spot in your property, and you just did 5 a week, one couple a night, it was $2,000 in revenue at the end of the month. Spa revenue for couples. All of our couples said that they would at least look into a couples massage. Average couple massage is $500. Do the math. Room revenues for romantic turndowns. If you were to charge $100, again, if you get one couple a day that wants a romantic turndown, it's $2,000 additional each month. Sorry. In today's romance market, it's important to create a personal experience, something special that couples will remember forever and share with their family and friends. Again, Marian is kind enough to present to us some things that she has implemented at the Las Ventanas in Mexico. Cinema on the sand. She charges a fee for couples to sit on the beach with a comfy chair, some chili popcorn, some champagne, and watch a movie. Tables for two, like I said earlier, romantic dinners, whether they're on the beach or on the cliffs overlooking the water. Sleeping with the stars. Marian knows for sure that couples have actually booked this hotel just to have this experience. It's an outdoor bedroom on the roof. They put everything from the bed to fire to romantic lighting, and the couples can actually lay there and sleep under the stars. Couples massages. Again, set them up in various locations. Don't just do a traditional spa massage. Bring them on the beach. Bring them on the cliffs. Bring them to the jungle. Wherever you have, whatever place you have that's special on your property, utilize it. Las Ventanas has actually implemented a position of director of romance. This young woman, her sole job is to walk around and talk to couples that are there for a romantic adventure, making sure they're happy, making sure they have everything they need. Romantic turndowns, perfect example of what a room should look like. Las Ventanas just started a program. It's called Men in White Cooking. Cats. This, Men in White Cooking. I'm thinking about my husband, actually, me expecting him to do this. But the greatest thing about this, it gives men the opportunity to go and sit with a chef, learn how to prepare a meal for their wife, and then wow them. They have an outdoor little theater set up with a stove and candles, and the wife comes down to the chef and their husband presenting a meal. It's been extremely successful. Creative ways to generate romance revenue. Marian gave us an example of the spa in Vivo at the Hotel Matilda. They've actually created an outdoor spa that couples can enjoy different thermal treatments, romantic treatments, but really what this has taken on is that bridesmaids have now started coming due to Marian's press releases and making it and gearing it towards brides and their girlfriends looking to get away for a ladies' trip. Disney World, which is a family-oriented resort, even has a romance package. They actually monogram towels, set up candles, rose petal the whole room, and they give you a picture of Mickey and Minnie in your room when you get back. Paparazzi proposal. This is a great program that Marian has implemented. This is for couples who are actually men who want to go down and propose to their wife. Gives them the opportunity to have the whole thing videotaped. Once Marian was able to get this out to the media and the various magazines, couples were flocking to this because there's always a chance that somebody wants to have this videotape. They want to have this memorable moment on camera or even with photos. And at the end of the trip, the couple is given, a whole book full of memories from this wonderful experience. 4 top upgrades the couples would book as soon as they checked in. 23% they would go right away and spend the extra money for a candlelit hotel room with flowers and soft music upon your return from dinner. 28% of them would want an afternoon romance package that included a tour, lunch, and a romantic excursion. 37% of them said they would book without a doubt a private candlelit dinner on the beach. 21% said the couple's massage, whether it's at the spa, on the beach, or in your room, is a definite. So taking these numbers and the ideas that I've just given you, if you were to implement them, you know for sure that if you're marketing to this market, this is the amount of people that you're going to have coming and actually booking it. You'll be turning those marketing dollars into revenue. Print media. A lot of people say this is a dying breed. I don't believe so. I say that because have you ever been on a train or on a plane or a bus when someone takes out a bridal guide magazine or any of the brides magazines? People are just wowed by them. They stop, they look, they ask, who's getting married? Oh, how beautiful. Could I see that? It's just something about weddings that attracts people. What we say and what we know to advertise to this market is to create clear goals and marketing objectives. Articulate what is unique about your brand. Utilize the expertise of the media outlets you advertise with. What I mean by that is if you're going to run an ad campaign, run your ideas by a company like Marion. Run your ideas by the publisher. See what they could come up with to give you the best exposure possible. Create an integrated program utilizing all aspects of the internet. Don't forget, if you're coming up with these great ideas, whether it's the men in white hats cooking, you need to make sure it's on everything, your Twitter, your Facebook, photos, videos. I want everyone to consider this. When I ask how many bridal magazines you think are printed annually, let's consider, of the 4 million printed combined Martha Stewart weddings, The Knot, Brides magazines, Bridal Guide magazine, if you were to stack all of them lengthwise on top of each other in the course of 1 year, they would be taller lengthwise than 3,000 Empire State Buildings. The real wow of that is not by how many that's printed, it's about how many pass along. The average time that one magazine is passed along is 27 times. Bridal magazines make a statement. Get guests talking. It's my favorite slide because I truly believe that any marketing dollars spent are nothing compared to the power of a guest leaving and telling their friends what they experienced. I was recently married a year. My husband took me to Miami. It's a spa in Arizona. I will admit the trip was not perfect. There was things about it that I was slightly disappointed. However, every night when I came back to my room, Miami has this special feature that they leave you a different present every night. So the first night was a journal. The second night was some smudging, which is their ancient room clarifier, some pillow spray to make you have sweet dreams. You name it. They kept coming, gift after gift after gift. Every night we'd be in the middle of dinner and I would be like ants in my pants to get back to the room to see what they left for me. So here we were spending all this money on this vacation that wasn't perfect, but it didn't matter. I came back and I told every one of my girlfriends, you wouldn't believe it. I get there, I got a robe. After that, I got a gym bag. After that, I got a journal. It was such an exciting thing for me, and it wasn't just me. It was all the travelers that we had an opportunity to get to know over the week we were there. It was all the buzz. And what they do is they incorporate these gifts into the price. So they really weren't free. They felt free. I had paid for them. We had paid for them when we booked. But the power of what it did for when I left was you couldn't even put a dollar amount on that. Cruise ships, they've been doing it for years. Have you ever talked to someone who's been on a cruise ship and they don't talk about the towel animals in their room? They talk about, oh, what is this? I'm going to come back to tonight. They took it one step further. Carnival actually made a book how to make those towel animals. And they've made a ton of money on people purchasing the books on the cruise ships to take home and try it home. I purchased one of those books. I've never made a towel animal, so it's definitely working for them. Fiji water. While asking people in our surveys what they appreciated most about their hotel stays, a couple shared with us that while spending $600 a night at a W in Washington, D.C. for an anniversary weekend, all her husband could talk about was when they got back to their room, there was 2 Fiji bottles of water at the end of their bed. And she looked at him and said, well, geez, we're spending $600 a night. I don't see what the big deal is. And he says, well, there's a whole mini bar there full of water that is $6 a bottle. I think it was really nice that they put these out here complimentary. And to him, chances are, if he goes back to any destination that has a W hotel, he's booking surely based on that fact alone. Punta Cana Resort. My husband and I went a few years ago for a birthday party. Upon arrival, we got off the plane and immediately were escorted through customs, right through to our bags, and we were out the door. Best part about this, we were in our hotel in less than 15 minutes from getting off the plane. When we left the Punta Cana hotel, They picked us up, walked us through security, put us in a VIP lounge that's just for their guest. We sat there with food and wine and champagne while we waited for our flight. It was hands down the single best travel experience that I could remember. And the best part, I love the hotel. It was nice. Are there other hotels equally as nice? Absolutely. But if I go back to Punta Cana, am I going to go anywhere but that hotel that offers me the kind of service that from the second I step off the plane, I know that I'm the only guest they're caring about? And 200 other guests felt the same way. So I'd like to talk to you about your gossiping guest. Like I said earlier, if you don't tell them about the pool being under construction, I guarantee they're going to tell them themselves. Have you ever heard the saying that a scorned woman is someone you don't want to cross? Well, the scorned traveler in today's social market is horrible. They are definitely going to leave with horror story after horror story and post it on TripAdvisor, every other market they can find. What I think that every company should do is encourage guests to share experiences. You want to follow up with thank yous to these guests. You want to follow up and show them that you appreciate their feedback to future customers and guests. Service costs very little, but takes a lot of effort. People that talk about they want a great service, it doesn't necessarily mean the waiter at the restaurant or the turn down service. It means somebody actually taking the time to remember what you liked, to ask, I'm at the Savoy this week, and I called down yesterday for a cup of tea, and they actually remembered, Marie, would you care for your English breakfast? We know that's your favorite. That wowed me so much that the little note they put on my account that after 3 days I ordered English breakfast tea every morning meant a lot to me. They didn't ask if I wanted coffee. They didn't ask if I wanted chamomile. They knew that I wanted English breakfast tea. You want to wow them every day, whether it be by little presents in their room or offering them some travel insight, asking them if you could book them packages, ask them if there's anything they could get you, address them by name when possible. And the most important, you want to ask questions, listen to answers, and take action. If you were to ask in the beginning of the trip how someone is enjoying themselves, and on day 2 they could tell you it's a total train wreck, it gives you the opportunity to then tell them ways that you're going to make the trip better. It gives you opportunity at that moment, day 2, to fix whatever issue they're having. Sorry, I don't. So, I apologize. We're having the Jeff, I'm gonna have to skip those slides. Oh my gosh, there I am. I'm gonna have to go blind because it's telling me that going forward it's not going to allow. Oh, they saved the day. Again, another reason why the flask would have come in handy. Things like this would be no big deal. How do I get back in, do you know?
Open the keynote again.
Oh, correct. Okay. There we go. I apologize. Let me get back to where we were. Okay, so your video photography capability. We know that images and videos sell more travel, especially in the romance, than anything else. Inviting guests to post to your Facebook and YouTube are invaluable. Ask them to share videos are going to actually lead to potentially more business. And what I mean by this is if I, as a wedding planner, or myself as a bride, go to a website and I'm able to see a 2-minute video of somebody's wedding, I'm not going to make everybody sit through it, but to give you an idea, it gets people excited. They're able to see what other brides did. Showcases the hotel. Gives you an opportunity to show the features of your hotel. All the different things that guests will be offered as they come in, to room setups and dinners. cigar rolling. It gives brides and wedding planners ideas. Oh, we should do fireworks. Oh, they offer this. Look what this one bride did. People don't care if you duplicate one wedding to the next because chances are you're not going to know that bride. Your guests are not going to know that bride. But you can bet they're going to want that experience to be as great as theirs. So moving on, talk about marketing to this market, getting the word out, websites, press releases, blogs, vlogs, Twitter, Facebook, ebooks, and newsletters. My panel is going to discuss all of these. Your websites, numerous, high-resolution photos, easy to navigate, need to be current, rich media, high-definition videos, 360-degree tours. Photos should be easy to share, connected to blogs and vlogs, give them the dream, and be extremely informative. Social media. You're going to create a strategy and stick with it. You're going to encourage comments. You're going to write newsworthy tweets and updates. Perfect example of that is in New York on Halloween. It snowed. So if you were a hotel in the Dominican Republic and you're posting, it's Halloween here and 95 degrees and sunny, people are going to enjoy. They're going to get an idea of, I got to get the heck out of here. Add likes, be consistent. And by consistent, I mean myself. I tweet maybe once every 2 months. I'm the worst at it. No one's going to follow people if they're not consistently tweeting. Reply with a thank you for those who post comments. At this point, what I would like to do is I would like to turn over to Jeff and ask him to share with us some strategies that he has put in play with Bridal Guide.
Okay. Hello. I'll try not to crack this because they say it might crack. Oh, okay. First of all, I got a little excited, Marie, when you said Sleeping with the Stars program. I thought it was a new ABC show that was coming on. But I realized that was Sleeping Under the Stars. One of the programs, first of all, by raising your hands, how many work for destinations here? Okay. How many work for hotel groups here? Not that many. Okay. How many work for other bridal media companies here? Get out. No, I'm just kidding. Marie asked me to talk about some programs that we do, and we're lucky enough to be working with Jamaica Tourist Board. We went to the Jamaica Tourist Board and created a program not only to get Jamaica, which has such a strong brand, top of mind, but we wanted to get the private sector to also invest because it's very important for the private sectors, the hotels, to be a part of Jamaica's strategy. So we Bridal Guides created a rate and supplemented it through the investment which Jamaica Tourist Board did. And we created an in-book, online, 360-degree program, which really reached the market in a lot of different ways. We always listen to what the partners that we work with, what their strategies are. And Jamaica has such a strong brand, and we implemented these strategies through print in the magazine. And then as you can see, which is highlighted over there, we created an e-brochure off of a printed brochure, which they can use, which they do use, as a wedding romance piece, especially when they go not only just fulfilling leads, but they can also send this out to the different bridal shows that they go to attend. You can go to the next slide, Marie. We support it with social media. Now, social media is so important these days. It's very easy to reach people this way, but there's a strategy in place. I'm going to talk more about that later as far as a strategy for social media. You have to be transparent. You can't be selling what you want to sell to consumers because Twitter is used in a certain way, and it's to build your expertise in the market. Facebook is a way to get engaged with the people who are on your Facebook page. What Maria had mentioned, you want to get them to like what you have, you want to get them to share what you have, and you want them to play in your Facebook arena. It's very important. Posting deals in your websites and Twitter is really not going to work. That's not what social media is. Social media is a vehicle to communicate with consumers. And as you can see, Bridal Guide tweeted out about the Jamaica brochure for people to see, and people liked it and retweeted it. We have on Bridal Guide, we just recently relaunched the website, and we have a Twitter feed, a live Twitter feed. So anyone mentioning Bridal Guide at Bridal Guide Mag will be mentioned on the home page of Bridal Guide. Next page. This is the Facebook. We posted it, and you can see when people like it and they share it. Every time someone hits that like button, every one of their friends sees what they like. Anyone that they could share it with their friends, they could post, they could like, they could retweet, they could do all these different things. And this is what Bridal Guide's Facebook page with the Jamaica brochure did. I'm sorry, I'm getting a stiff neck doing this. We built a microsite which had a photo gallery, and I believe exactly what Maria said. It's all about photos. These girls are in it's a surreal moment when they get engaged. They want to be inspired by what they see, and they want to be educated how to do it. One thing that a lot of the properties and clients that I see, not only just in Bridal Guide, but across the gamut in media, have a beautiful couple on a beautiful beach in their creative. Well, what a couple wants to see is what you have, what your experience has. So those are all the different things that we give as far as recommendations for different partners like Jamaica. And this brochure got, through the program last year, Jamaica generated over 6,000 leads from the program that ran in-book, online, and through the social media.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Marion is with us from California. Marion, can you hear us?
I think possibly when your computer.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
You've got to redial.
I will get her in a second. All right, we'll go back to Marion from California. John, could you share with us what separates Jamaica from other destinations who are going after the same romance consumer?
Well, am I okay? Hooked up? I'd like to say you guys have made it very easy for me, you know, talking about Jamaica and how beautiful it is and the magnificent waterfalls and the beaches and all of that. But the fact of the matter that it's different to that. The person getting married needs to feel really special and in a practical way. By the way, I want to disagree with you about this destination weddings and your survey. Have you ever heard about the dueling in-laws?
Doing the what?
Dueling in-laws. Couples tend to try and get away from them.
Oh.
So this spawned a whole industry, right, of destination weddings. People trying to get away from their in-laws. The fact of the matter is this is a 12-month business, and destinations like Jamaica, literally, and I'm probably dating myself, stumbled into this phenomenon. I can remember the days my experiences with a chain of hotels that in September and October we were actually overbooked, right? Which is amazing because anybody doing business in the Caribbean knows that September and October are horrendous months, right? That's when you throw away all the money you made in February and March. And you have to make these getting back to your question, really. We have a fantastic private sector in Jamaica that actually has stepped up to the plate and really paid very serious attention to this market. It's very important. You can have the most beautiful product in the world, but if you don't back that up by really paying special attention and doing the creative things that these people demand, because it is a demand, it goes a long way. A lot of people, somebody calls up a reservation department and said, "Hi, I'm thinking about getting married." There are very few reservation services that jump up to the plate and say, "Congratulations." That's something that's really basic. These people want to feel special. They're at the pinnacle of their purchasing cycle, and they have a lot of money to spend. Some of them don't have it, but they'll go to the bank and borrow it. And our job is to collect the money. So you have to make these, the more creative you can be as a destination, as a hotel, as a tour for these people. We have lots of things to do. They want lots of things to do, or they want to read about lots of things to do. Whether they do them or not is another question. But they want to. I mean, I sat on an airplane. I was going somewhere, I think it was Miami, New York. And there was a lady, a young lady in business class. And she poured over, and I'm going to be mention your competition, I'm sorry, that she had a Bride's magazine in her hand. And it had so many dog ears and things she was marking off and that thing. We, the company I work for, had a 32-page insert in the book. So, you know, when these people go to your hotel, they probably know, not as much, but close to, right? Everything that that hotel has to offer and that destination that you can ever imagine. Photography and information, that's what the people are looking for. And I can't emphasize it enough. And then you have to back it up with service. But when they come down and when they go wherever they are, the more things you can throw at them. Picture you have a suite that's empty now in a hotel, and it's going to be empty for the next month, right? And a bright young miss meets this couple. Congratulations, welcome to the hotel. Today is your lucky day. We just happen to have the suite available. And it's $1,000 more a week. And the bride says to the hubby, let's go look, take a look. 9 out of 10, they're going to pay the money. And, you know, that's what it's all about.
Thank you, John. Marion, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Oh, something going right. Thank you. Marion, please share with us, how has social media affected PR, and what do you do differently now versus years ago regarding most media when it was print?
I think on the PR front, social media has multiplied the opportunity for coverage so many times over. There are more opportunities today for good publicity coverage than there have ever been in the past, and that's only going to multiply. Every magazine, every newspaper, everyone we deal with has not just a print medium, but also a website and Facebook and Twitter and blogs and apps, and people are moving into this more frequently, and we're going to only see more of it. I think a good example is W Magazine. We recently had them on a press fam we did to San Miguel de Allende to experience the Spa in Vivo program that we talked about a little earlier. And the writer who came on that covers beauty for W Magazine. She sent us a note yesterday that said, I've put together a profile of Hotel Matilda for the new W app. And that app online is going to reach over 10,000 readers of the Daily W, which is their blog, 380,000 Twitter followers, 90,000 Facebook fans, 40,000 Tumblr followers, and 500,000 unique visits a month to wmagazine.com. Now that's above and beyond the print circulation. So, and this is just one example of the kind of social media opportunities that are out there today.
Thank you, Marion. I'm going to come back to you in a minute after Henry for you to share with us how you basically marketed the paparazzi proposal. So I'll be right back. Henry, if I could turn to you, if you could share with the audience a little bit in detail about the e-blast that you put together and the e-book and some video marketing that you did for the El Dorado.
Certainly. Well, thank you for saving the best for last, Marie. I appreciate that. So, you know, the stuff that we do in production of visuals is pretty basic stuff and logical. I mean, nobody picks up a magazine and starts reading the text. They look at the photos and then they go to the text. So logic has it, and most of the people we talk to get the best visuals you can afford. And to that end, many people look at weddings and honeymoons and romance travel as part of what they do, not just focused on what they do. So they'll have a video, for example, that's got all kinds of things. And they've got families in there, and they've got other types of meeting incentive stuff. And then there's a little bit about weddings, and the video has maybe 15 seconds. If you're going to focus on weddings and romance and video and honeymoons, do a video on that, as well as the other stuff, but one specifically tailored for that market. And the same thing, this is There's an ebook up here. We do these brochures that people will send out are expensive to produce, and they're expensive to distribute. And if you want to make any changes from year to year, they're expensive to reproduce. So everything's going online. This can go to the meeting planners. It can go to the wedding planners. It can go to anybody who's interested and writes on the website, send me your, or look at my ebook and send it to somebody. This is very simple, no time in loading, and it's very effective to show the dream. And if you look at it, it's very visual, very little text. If somebody wants to read something, they can go deeper into text. To a point earlier, the reality is people will learn more or as much about your property as you do, more so than the leisure traveler in honeymoon and wedding. So first, show them the pictures, the dreams, and if you noticed, a lot of the visuals up there don't show a lot of people in there. There's not, you know, romantic couple clinking and stuff. This is the setting. Here's where the table on the beach is. Here's the bed under the stars, or sleeping with the stars for Jeff's case. And then they imagine themselves there. Try to give them that dream. And one more thing, we do a lot of 360s as well. One of our clients had these, all of their rooms had these jacuzzi tubs in there. So instead of saying, here's a photo, you can see the view of the beach, or here's the photo with the view of the jacuzzi tub, they can see that. But then they zoom around with the 360 and they go, wow, there's the bed right there, and there's the view, and there's the jacuzzi tub, and they can see everything at once. And I've had many of the managers say that's the reason people booked this hotel, because they realized the jacuzzi tub was actually in the room. So visuals, if you can afford video, and doing good video is not cheap, get great photos and create a slideshow application. It can be just as effective for a fraction of the cost.
Thank you, Henry.
Thank you.
Marion, if you're still there, if you could, since you were so kind to give us so many wonderful photos for the presentation, if you could share with us the paparazzi proposal and how well that's working for the hotel that you have recently implemented it.
I think it's a good example of the way we sometimes come across great ideas on the PR front, and that is by just talking with employees. We were at Tides Riviera Maya in Playa del Carmen. We were talking with the concierge, and he told us a story about a man who was planning a proposal, and the man asked him, gee, I'd love to have it photographed, but in secret. I don't want her to know, but I want her to remember this minute forever. So the concierge then arranged to have a paparazzi, and the paparazzi photographed not just the proposal, but you know, their dinner for two, and you know, various little things, them at the pool, and then at the end of the stay presented the CD with all of the photos on it. The woman was just overwhelmed. Well, we said, this is a great program to have in place. Is it available to anyone? And they said, oh, absolutely, but they weren't promoting it. So we took it and we packaged it under the headline, The Paparazzi Proposal. And we shot it out to the media with photographs of all the wonderful locations at Tides Riviera Maya where you could propose to someone. And we sent it to the press, and we made a lot of calls and invited media to come and experience it, to see the paparazzi proposal in action, and also just to know about this for their blogs and for their websites and for the print media. Remember that media today really need great ideas. They want good content. And if you have a good story, they will listen to you, but you have to deliver. You have to really implement it effectively. So this is a service that is charged separately. Like many of these services on the romance front, it's a revenue generator for the hotel.
Thank you, Marion. And Jeff, one last question for you before we end today. Could you share with us why has Bridal Guide been so successful between working with hotels and destinations?
There's a lot of different reasons, but I always give all the credit to our travel editor and our editor-in-chief. Bridal Guide understands that this time in this girl's life, in the couple's life, it's surreal. They're looking for information. We're a service magazine. We're a service website. We provide two things. We provide education and inspiration. Those are the two things. It's the how-to for I do. We write about, it's hard for me to turn around and look. We have a feature in every issue called Resort Roundup. We have something called Destination Weddings Away, which we cover destination weddings in every issue. Something called a Travel Insider and Travel Snapshot. Our editorial is destination focused. It's a lot of little snippets of information with beautiful pictures, as Henry was talking about and Marie was talking about. So there's a lot of reasons, and Bridal Guide has the highest pass along of any magazine in the United States that's measured by MRI, which is 28 readers per copy, so they share it with everybody. I wanted to just touch on one point that you about the market, Marie, if you mind.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I always talk about is there's no two couples that are alike, and I always look at a lot of the wedding packages, because when we sit down and I talk to a lot of my clients, I said, why are you having so many templated, inflexible wedding packages when everyone, not everyone, I'd say most of these couples today want something new and unique. They want to be different. So having flexibility about creating things is very important. Also articulating your experience. If you're in Jamaica, don't promote that you have a Tahitian spa. Give the experience and what's authentic to what you are. That's going to really resonate, because if you do promote something that you're not, they're going to see through it when they get there. Set expectations. Don't say we could offer you everything, because if you do, you're in trouble. Marie had mentioned the little things that are left on the bed when she came back at night. I have an experience when I was on my honeymoon. We stayed at the El Conquistador, and we had a travel agent. We booked a travel agent, and she asked a lot of questions. And I was asking my wife at the time, so why is she asking so many questions? Well, we went on a cruise first, and then we showed up at the El Conquistador, and there were a box of M&Ms, not just one box. It was a box of M&Ms sitting on the counter. And as you know, when you're in the Caribbean, it's not always easy to get the little luxuries at home that you like. But one of the questions I remember she asked was, what kind of candy you like? So she got it, and she delivered it to our rooms as a travel agent from that experience. That was a big wow. Just took a little effort to do. But those are the things. The little things go the longest way. The biggest expectations, we could do everything, are just going to set you up for failure on that.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much to everybody who came today, and thank you again for the panelists and for World Travel Mart for allowing us to share with you our travel results for the romance market. If you have any questions, the panel will be here for a few minutes, as will I. And if you'd like a copy of today's presentation or any of the survey results, we'd be more than happy to email them to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.